Oh my God, 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 oh my God. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Nathallie Hughes. And sometimes I like to repeat myself for dramatic effect, but I never like when people repeat things to me. I hate it. Welcome to my channel. I had to repeat the oh my gods because I just had this really good moment, really good reminder of something that I haven't said in a really long time. And I had to repeat it and I had to come and share it to you today. So we get really caught up. Well, we can get really caught up in the whole, am I going to be successful? Am I going to make it? Are things going to be okay? I'm worried. I'm stressed. I'm anxious. I'm afraid. And of course, all of these emotions are valid. All of these emotions are valid. But really what we're talking about right now is understanding why my success is inevitable. My success is inevitable because I'm not going to quit. My success is inevitable because I'm determined to figure it out. My success is inevitable because I'm committed to success. And it's like, I don't know, this might be full of cliches because it's so fucking true. I could have quit my business last week, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Time doesn't exist. I have no fucking clue when this happened. But literally, like less than a week before I was offered my first apartment, I was like, fuck this business. I'm quitting. If I would have decided to quit, if I would have taken my website down, if I would have dismantled my business entity and what the fuck ever, I kind of want to say I wouldn't be here, but I can't even say that. Why? Because the person that I am isn't somebody who quits. Now, this is not the story that we're telling ourselves where it's like, you have to do things that you don't want to do in order to succeed. It's not that, because that's bullshit. But every single time I have those moments, I've had those moments many, many times over the past 4 years. Every single time I've had those moments of, I want to quit this business. I want to give up on this. When I'm done feeling my feelings and moving through the things, then it's like, oh, the limiting beliefs, the limiting stories, that starts to come up. The inner work starts to come up. Years ago, I might have quit for 2 days. I might have quit for a week. But like Chingy said, every time I try to leave, something keeps pulling me back. Telling me I need you in my life. Why? Because this is my passion and this is my purpose. And every single time that I leave, I'm serious. What was it? Less than a year into my business, I applied and was accepted to Xavier University in New Orleans. I think the name of it is Xavier University. Zula. God, I forget about that. I don't tell that story often. Yeah, I was like, fuck this business. I'm going back to college. Fuck this shit. I'm out. When I decide to leave, I make the fucking plans. Whether that's, fuck this shit, I'm going back to college. I was doing so good in college. I'm so brilliant. I'm so... You know what I mean? I'm so talented. I can do this. I can graduate with the honors and the summa cums, like I say. And then I don't fucking do it. And you want to know the reason why I don't go to college? Is because I know me. I know me. I'm going to go to fucking college. I'm going to sit in a class. They're going to tell me you have to buy this book. I'm going to get the book. I have to read one chapter. I might read the first chapter. Might read the second chapter. Might read the first 3 pages of the third. By that time, I'm bored. I'm bored. My biggest flex in college, and I pray that this professor never hears this, he was a sweetheart. Love him. He was a Gemini. Funny man. And I got 100% on a final for a book that I never read. I got 100% on the final for a book that I never read. It was not multiple choice. I wrote essays for a book. I never read that book. Baby, this is Spark Notes. I didn't read that book, but I went to class and I participated in the discussions, which are so good. And English and metaphor and identifying stories and picking out universal themes. Damn, y'all. I've been recording some really good shit that I just ended up adding to the fucking course because it was too good. It was too good for me to give it for free. It was too good. But when you go and you join the course and you listen to the things, you're going to hear me talk about my zone of genius. You're going to hear me talk about English. But I don't even remember if it's a part of the free stuff or the paid stuff. So just go and listen to all the things. And then after you go and listen to all the things, then you'll hear the stories. But, you know, English and metaphor and storytelling and deriving meaning is just kind of my fucking zone of genius. So I can sit in a classroom and, you know, I had some guilt surrounding this because this is like a fucking gift, right? I had some guilt surrounding this. You're a terrible person. You're manipulative. Like so much shame. No, bitch, it's a fucking gift. It's a fucking gift. I can sit and I can hear you talk about this story and I can hear you talk about this happened and this happened and this happened. Literally, I would be sitting in a fucking class. I'm sitting in a class and because I have, okay, astrologically speaking, I have my moon in Capricorn in the 3rd house conjunct Neptune. I'm a Pisces sun with my Pisces sun in the 5th house, and I've got Jupiter in the 5th house, and I've got Mercury in the 5th house. She's a smart cookie, especially as it relates to like English and like words and shit. So you're like, they're like talking about these stories, or like talking about these characters, or talking about something. I literally didn't read the book, but one of my greatest spiritual understandings in life, and I am going to get back to what I was talking about at the beginning of this, but it's a story. So like, sit tight and enjoy it. So I remember we're like in class and it was something that happened in the book. Could I tell you the name of the book? No, I could not. But it was a good book. It was a really good book. I do remember a couple of the themes and different things like that. But the theme was like magic in the mundane. And this was like, this was not before I started my spiritual journey, but this was like the very beginning. And that magic in the mundane, that shit stuck to me. That shit stuck with me. It resonated with me. And the idea was just like, there was a character, and if you guys have ever read this book, then you'll probably be able to identify it from this story or whatever. They had gone to like this like market. I want to call it like an outdoor swap meet, even though that's not what it was called, but you guys are understanding. They go to this place. There's a whole bunch of people from a whole bunch of areas that come. They sell shit, whatever. These people, the characters that we're discussing, have never seen ice before. They've never experienced ice. So this person, I want to call them a merchant, even though I don't remember if they were actually a merchant or something. So we've got this merchant who was like, look at this futuristic thing. Ooh, ah. And then he like takes a fucking ice cube out and like melts it on this guy's hand. And they're like, what the fuck? What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Magic in the mundane. Because it's a fucking ice cube that's melting on a hand. And I don't even remember what the discussion was. I feel like that was a very poor summary of what happened in that scene, y'all. Actually, it probably was accurate. But I couldn't tell you the book. I'd have to read it again. But the point is that they're sitting and they're having this discussion. People that have read the thing. And one thing about me, Oh, I'm going to participate in a chat. If you couldn't tell, every time I get on here, I only be planning to talk for like 3 seconds. I'd be like, ooh, I got this idea. I'm going to share it. And then we'd be here for an hour. And it's the greatest hour of our lives. Amen. Hallelujah. So I'm like in this class and it's like, okay, like I'm participating in the class discussion and I'm just fucking talking. And then the ideas and the thoughts are flowing and I'm just like making all these connections and stuff. Anyway, fast forward. End of the semester, didn't read the book, knew the final was coming up, but I understood what happened in the book. I understood the plot. I understood the themes. I got it. The final was easy as fuck. I got 100%. I did good. I was proud of myself. It was awesome. One of my greatest accomplishments, one of my greatest achievements. So the reason why college was so much easier for me than high school was because high school, y'all monitor too much. They were too in my business. Literally, I remember my sophomore year of high school, I got a D in my English class because we had to have a reading log like we're 4 fucking years old. And our parents had to sign our reading log like we're 4 fucking years old. And I don't know why I didn't forge my mother's signature, but she was operating in integrity, so good for her. I started like on a D because like I didn't have the fucking reading log. Like, isn't that fucking ridiculous? Like, mind your fucking business. But anyway, don't worry about what I'm doing. So school is really easy for me. I'm not interested in doing it the traditional way. I'm not interested in doing it just because I can do it to prove something about me. I went to school. I got my good grades. I proved enough to myself. I proved that I was capable. And then I was like, fuck this shit, I'm out. So I won't be going back to college. Not because I can't, but because I genuinely don't want to. I love to read. I love to study. It's so funny. I said I don't want to go to college because I don't want to read these books. And instead, I chose to be a business owner and commit to learning and developing new skills every single motherfucking day. I dropped out of college to buy college textbooks. But the difference is that I wanted to learn that shit. I had a hunger for the knowledge. I wanted to understand things deeper. I was applying it in my personal life, my healing, and my coaching and my videos, and just, developing more confidence, developing my own techniques, my own understandings, not necessarily my own like healing modalities, although, but what's my point? My point is that I don't want to go back to college. That's the point. I just told you all that story. How long have I been talking? 13 minutes. Excuse me. I just had coffee and I burped in your ear. I do apologize. So, I don't want to go back to college because I'm not going to read the books. It doesn't work for me. I literally remember when I decided to leave college, I had printed out this thing. I had my fucking highlighters and everything. And I just it's like I was looking at the fucking page and I'm trying, when you read something and you read a whole paragraph, you're like, I have no idea what the fuck any of this just said. Like I understood the words, but if you put a gun to my head and you were like, what did you just read? I'd be like, I have no idea. You know what I mean? It's really intense, that example, but that's how I feel. Like you could not have paid me to tell you what the fuck that was about. I had no clue. And it's not even like I wasn't trying. Like I was trying to force myself to get it. It wasn't happening. Her eyes were just glossing over the fucking lines. I was like, fuck this shit. I'm out. I've got to go. I have psychic readings that I want to do. And it's kind of funny and it sounds kind of silly, but also it wasn't funny or silly at all because I tapped into my passion, my purpose. I would rather be helping somebody in their life than reading a textbook that I don't want to read to go and have discussions that I don't want to have. So I'm not going back to college. So then when I have those moments in my business where I'm like, fuck this shit, I'm quitting. It's like, what are you going to go do? Would you like to be a barista at Starbucks? And there is no shame at all in what I'm saying. There's no shame in being a barista at Starbucks. And I've said this so many times. Somebody, please, I'm begging you, if you are out there, somebody, there has to be someone. In a world full of billions of people, there has to be somebody that wants to make multiple six figures as a barista at Starbucks. It's not my passion. It doesn't light me up. If it is your passion and your desire, I don't mean what I'm about to say, but it sounds really good, so I'm going to say it anyway. If it is your passion and it is your heart's desire to be a barista that makes six figures, come work with me and I will coach you into that reality just because I want to see it happen, just because I want to fucking see that it happen. And I said before I said that I didn't actually want to do that because I actually wouldn't do that, but it would be really awesome. And honestly, if you sent me an email and it really moved me, I might. But don't do it if you're, not serious about it, because that would just kind of piss me off. But my point in saying all of that is that that's absolutely possible. To me, that's hot. You're a millionaire. What do you do? Oh, I'm a Starbucks barista. Oh, how many Starbucks do you own? No, I don't own any Starbucks. I'm just a Starbucks barista. I had to have said this in a video, in a module, in something on Patreon. I've talked about this before, so I won't talk about it again. But I think that that's so fucking cool. What's my point? My point is that there's no shame in being a Starbucks barista. Except the idea of working in an environment where I cannot choose the fellow employees, hell no. Hell no. I have no further comment. That's it. That's my entire answer. That's my entire answer. I cannot do it. I cannot do it. No. No. Sorry about it. I have a Scorpio rising in astrology that puts, in my chart, that puts Aries on the cusp of my sixth house, which is like work, daily routine. I have Venus there. I get lots of opportunities in my career because people really like my personality and I'm very good with relationships. I can work with people, but that Aries on the fucking cusp, no, honey, she works alone. She has to be the boss. She has to be the CEO. She has to make all the rules. I'm sorry. What did Beyonce say? I didn't ask for this power. I didn't ask to be the boss. So the idea of working at Starbucks or the idea of working at Walmart doesn't light me up because I would be surrounded by people who aren't doing this work. And then I would be making like $20 an hour, or like $18. I don't know what minimum wage is, but it's just kind of like, yeah, no, fuck that. If you want money quick and easy, just go on the internet and do some tarot readings now. And let's just stop that there, because you could go live for an hour and make how many hours of work, not even talking about taxes that are getting like taken out of your check and shit. Like, girly pop. I'm sorry, but that's not going to work for me. So it's not about shaming people that are choosing that. If that lights you up, if that's a part of the path of least resistance towards your desires, then do that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But it doesn't work for me. So when I feel like quitting the business and I'm going, what the fuck are you going to do instead? I go and I sift through all of the possible things and I have these conversations with myself. Most recently, when I had posted the thing on my Instagram like a couple weeks ago, I was like, well, what do you want to do? We know that you're not going to work at Walmart. We know that you're not going to work at Starbucks. We know that you're not going back to college. What would you like to do? And I was like, actually, you know what? I could nanny. I could be a nanny. I would be a really good nanny. And then we start playing the nanny but like the nanny theme song with Fran Drescher. And I was like, I could be a nanny. She's super stylish and she's super beautiful and all of this. And then and then I was thinking about it and I was like, well, by the time that I thought about I could be a nanny and I started looking into being a nanny, I was already back in the receptive mode, back tapped into my inner being. And that's actually something really good that I can talk about right now. So, and I actually did a whole freaking video on this. I mean, like a whole freaking audio on this. I don't know if that will ever see the light of day. But the point, I'll make it quick. As quick as possible for me. So whenever you're having those moments where everything feels so bad and you want to quit, the reason why you want to quit, all of the options that you are a vibrational match to, because your thoughts, okay, hold on. Stop talking. Start from the beginning. This is what you need to know. The thoughts that you think are a consequence of the law of attraction. So the thoughts that come to your mind are a reflection of your vibration. Whenever you're having a really bad, terrible, shitty time, you have the desire to feel better. You shoot out a rocket of desire to feel better. Depending on where you are, and if you want a greater understanding of this, go join the course. There's a bonus workshop that explains this manifestation in much more detail. Depending on where you are on the emotional guidance scale, if you're in a feeling of powerlessness and you're asking to feel better, you might get a thought that is going to help you get to rage. So if you feel powerless in a situation, you don't want to feel powerless. You want to feel like there's something you can do. Jumping all the way up to the top of the emotional guidance scale, if you don't understand these phrases, then I invite you to join the course and you'll learn what these mean. Instead of jumping all the way up to the top of the emotional guidance scale to empowerment, rage is going to be a much easier, quicker, even better feeling journey. So it's easier to go from, I feel so powerless, to making somebody love me, to rage and revenge, which is like, bust the windows out this motherfucker's car. You know what I'm saying? Whereas empowerment and being in the vibration of love might say something like, this person isn't meeting my needs. I know that it doesn't mean anything about me personally. God, angels, universe, I'm open to receiving the love that I desire. I know that the perfect spouse, I know that the perfect partner is coming to me quickly and easily. I'm willing to see things differently. That's a completely different fucking experience. But you're not going to go from, I feel worthless and powerless, to get somebody else to love me, prioritize me, and treat me right. You're not going to go from powerless all the way to empowerment unless you spend a majority of your time in the vibration of empowerment. Are you guys understanding what I'm saying? And this is really good to talk about, because I really didn't go into like this much detail in the workshop. I didn't really have that understanding up until now. So mental note, somebody at some point at some time, add this to the bonuses of the course, add that little snippet, because that's really good. Okay, keep going. So if I spend a majority of my time in empowerment and then I trigger a story of powerlessness, then it's easier for me to observe that, shift that, and then get back into a feeling of empowerment. But if I'm spending a majority of my time in a state of powerlessness and I want to feel better, it's easier for me to jump up to rage and maintain that energy of rage, maintain that energy of blame. Sometimes people can jump all the way up to blame, but sometimes hope and optimism isn't a vibration that people are willing to step into. You understand what I'm saying? It's like you have to be ready to feel better. You have to be ready to allow in more support. You have to be ready to allowing in more love. And you don't become ready by ignoring your emotions, by pushing against your emotions. You become ready by naturally feeling. This is when we go into, and we talk about this. Oh my God, this pairs so beautifully with all of the fucking bonuses. And, you know, of course, the course as a whole. But your emotions are only going to last for about like 90 to 120 seconds. And I can never remember if it's 90 or 120. But I kind of feel like it's 120, but I kind of feel like it's 90. Wait a goddamn minute. Wait a goddamn minute. No. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought in my head that was so incorrect and so wrong that I'm not even going to say it. I forgive myself and we move on. So your emotions are going to last. They're going to get more and more intense. They're going to hit their peak, kind of plateau a little bit, then they're going to go back down. It's not like a drastic thing, but they're going to like descend. So you got to feel your emotions move through your shit. Once you have moved through and processed, meaning once you have felt the emotions, you don't stay in the bad feeling place. You naturally feel better. This is what Abraham Hicks means when they say it's like it's not a corkscrew, like a fucking bob in the ocean. I don't know what the thing is called, but it's like you being low vibe, you pinching yourself off from your inner being is like taking something that floats and using force to push it down. But as soon as that force is gone, it's going to bob back up. You're always naturally going to get to a place where you feel better. That's just kind of how it works. But it's our stop talking. All of this is in the course. If they want to understand this, they should pay you money. Ooh, so good. So good. Look at her. Look at her, businesswoman who values the knowledge and information that she has. That's sexy. That's hot. Good for you. It's giving. She's giving, you guys. She's giving. Okay, what's the point? The point of all of this is that I forgot. Give me a second to bring it back. So I think about quitting. When I think about quitting, I feel like I was saying something else. I know that I was saying, okay, so I said, we think about quitting. I'm not taking my ass back to college. I'm not doing this. I was thinking about, oh, yes. Oh, so good. So I was thinking, maybe I should just become like a nanny. By the time that I was thinking about becoming a nanny, I was already tapped into the vibration of solutions. I was already feeling better. I had already moved through the negative feelings. So, I'm going to say the thing. Am I going to say the thing? No, I'm not going to say the thing. I almost said it again. You're not going to pull this information out of me. You have to pay me for this. I'm just kidding. Okay, well, no, I'm serious about you have to pay me, but I'm joking about like, oh my God, it's your fault. No. I'll take responsibility for my actions. I'm just so generous. Okay. So, what the fuck? I promise. I mean, there are a couple like cute tangents and stories like throughout the course, but I usually remember what I'm talking about. Okay. I always remember what I'm talking about. What am I saying? But here, we're just having a little kiki. Okay, girl? Like, this is not, it's not serious. It's my livelihood. I take nothing more seriously than this. This is my passion and my purpose. But it's just like, this is a little like, this is just a kiki. Like, like, it's just us girls. Like, we're just chit-chatting right now. You know what I mean? Like, we're just fucking relaxed, I'm not going to force my brain to remember the things. We're just going to flow with it. And it's going to come back to us when it comes back to us. You know what I'm saying? So, okay. Taking it back. I remember all the thoughts now. I wasn't staying in the stories of, I want to quit this. Whenever I'm in the vibration of, I want to quit my business, I'm in a vibration of powerlessness. The only reason why I would want to quit my business is if I felt powerless or incapable of creating success for myself. And that actually takes us all the way back to the very beginning of this audio, which is so fucking good. So if I'm in the vibration of powerlessness in my business, the better feeling option is for me to quit this business. So the second that I decide that I want to quit the business, that's already me moving up the emotional guidance scale because I'm going, what is a better feeling option? Right? Instead of me going, I'm so powerless, nothing is working, the business isn't working, that wouldn't help me at all. So when I go, fuck it, we're quitting the business, let's do something else, I start opening up to solutions. I wasn't yet open vibrationally for my guides to come in and be like, these are the messages of support and love and d. I wasn't there yet. So a step up is like, okay, fuck it, I'm quitting this. What else can we do? What are our other good feeling options? By the time I get to the point where I'm like, oh, I could be a nanny, I love children. Well, now I'm already hearing my spirit guides because now I'm tapped into the vibration of a solution. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like you realize, meaning I realize that I'm at this point in my life where The law of attraction is how I live. Manifestation is how I live. If I wanted to manifest a different job than this one, it would be the same fucking practice. I would do the same shit. Praying, asking for guidance, asking for solutions. It's how I fucking live. So it's like, if this is how you live, why not keep doing what you're doing, babe? You know what I mean? But that's not my point. My point is that once I get up the emotional guidance skill enough to where I can start hearing guidance, meaning for me, okay, so sometimes it's like you're so low that you can't hear the guidance, even though the guides are always talking to you. For me, I don't ever get so low that I can't hear my guides. I mean, no, that does happen. That can happen. But usually I will like shut them out. I will like stop talking to me because I need to feel my emotions. I need to process. So by the time I'm opening up to solutions, I'm going back to my default state. My default state is just kind of like in constant communication with my spirit guides. So I'm bobbing back up to the surface of the water, bobbing back up to alignment with my inner being. Excuse me. And what's the reason why we don't want a nanny? Because I want to go on vacation. Because I want to go on vacation. Because although I love children, I literally was like, sometimes I like to take naps. And what are you going to do when you have your own kids? My kids will have a heavy Piscean Neptune influence with some Aries energy. Like, sure, we're going to be an active family, but in a much more real sense, we know how to nap. You know what I mean? So I was just kind of like, I don't think that being nanny is the one for me. And then as you're opening up to these solutions, it's like, well, I mean, you know, you've got your passion and your purpose and your reason for living and like, you know, the things that you could talk about all day, every day, the things you're so passionate about, the things that you want to fight for, you know. And then I'm like, yeah. Like this is right, you know. This is what I do. This is how I live. This is who I am. I just so happen to have created a business around it. So it's like, sure, you could have thoughts about quitting the business, but I'm still going to be me doing the same thing. So why be me doing what I'm already doing and not making money in this way when I know that I can make money in this way? So that takes us really beautifully back to the very beginning of this discussion, which is like, why do you keep going? What's the difference between I'm going to fail versus I'm going to quit? The point that I forgot to close earlier at the beginning of this was like, I'll never get to a point where I actually quit this business, not because I'm forcing myself to, but because it's not who I am anymore. So like manifestation being my way of life, spirituality being my way of life, it's just kind of like, I'm going to use these principles. I'm going to use these teachings no matter what I do. If I want to manifest another job, I'm going to manifest another job using these teachings. So it just makes more sense. It just feels best for me to utilize the teachings and teach the teachings and do what I already have so much momentum built up towards doing than to just decide to do something else that's not going to make me happy, that's not going to fulfill me. If I ever was like, I'm quitting this business and going to college was like, fuck yes, this is what I want to do. This is what lights me up. This is like feeling like my purpose right now. Like I'm so passionate about this. I'm so fired up about this. Then I would do it, but that's not the experience. So as a person, I'm always going to follow my passion. Passion is the second highest vibration. It's number 2 on the emotional guidance scale. I'm always going to follow my passion. I'm always going to follow what I love. I'm always going to follow what lights me up. When I move in alignment with my passions and what I love, I'm moving in alignment with my inner being. When I'm moving in alignment with my inner being, then I can't go fucking wrong. My inner being is my soul. the part of me connected to infinite intelligence that knows where I am in relation to my goal. I trust my soul. I trust that I got this. So that's kind of what I come back to every single time. But what does this have to do with the fact, like, that I'm not going to fail in this business, that my success is inevitable in this business? And I might have actually posted a video that says, like, your success is inevitable, talking about this concept already, because I've talked about this before, and I don't think that it's like specifically like in the course. Like, I feel like I've talked about this like last year or some shit like that. The reason why the business is going to be successful is because I'm committed to figuring it out. That's it. You waited 35 minutes for me to say that. Thanks for listening, guys. Check out my course. The reason why my business is going to be successful is because I'm not going to quit. Because I'm committed to figuring it out. Because the resources have continued to come in. So when I get frustrated, I'm frustrated because I haven't experienced what I'm wanting to experience, but I can look back and I can tell you for certain. If you've been watching me for the past several years, you know, the proof is in the pudding. I'm not the person that I was in 2019. I'm not the woman that I was in 2018 when I started this healing journey. So I am seeing progress and things are getting better and I am elevating into new circumstances. I just really have my eye on this one particular prize, this one particular circumstance and lifestyle that I am choosing to create for myself. So the reason why I'm going to be successful, the reason why I'm going to get it, is because every single time I contemplate quitting, I use that as an exercise. I use that as an opportunity to do the healing work, the shifting work that I know to do. I use my breakdowns, and in that way, they always become breakthroughs. You know what I'm saying? So when every single breakdown that I have is a breakthrough to something else, greater faith, a higher perspective, more money, whatever, then I put myself in a position where it's always getting better. Like Amanda Frances says, up and up only. So when I show up from the perspective of it's always getting better, it's up and up only, then it only makes sense that at some motherfucking point, we're going to get to the place that we want to be. It only makes sense that at some point, my desire will have manifested. That's why my success is inevitable. That's how I allow myself to shift out of the worry and the anxiety and the stress and the fear. My success is inevitable. Amanda Frances says, I'm not available for XYZ thing. How do I know that I'm not available for failure? Because I never accept failure. Even when I thought that I was failing, I didn't know. When I quit, I'm not doing shit to just be dramatic. Even though, I am a drama queen, obviously. But I'm not doing it for the sake of to have a good looking story. I really be fuck this shit sometimes. And that's for a lot of different things. But anyway, for a lot of different reasons. But the whole thing is what I do with that, what I do in those moments. Failure is defined by how you respond. So if I'm the type of person that is never going to respond to a perceived failure with quitting and giving up and walking away, then I'm never going to fail. And because I know that the universe is on my side, because the work that I'm doing is work where I develop more faith every single time, I develop a stronger connection to my guides every single time, I heal more every single time. I develop a greater feeling of worthiness every single time. I develop more confidence every single time. Because that's where I am. Because that's how I choose to show up. I'm on the road and I'm on the path to success. And that's very clear and that's very apparent. So when I know that I'm on the road and the path to success, I know that my success is inevitable. I know that failure is impossible for me because it does not matter if my worst fucking nightmares fucking happen. I could literally be in a goddamn jail cell and I would be in that jail cell praying, doing EFT tapping, doing journaling in my head, talking to my guides, making motherfucking makeshift tarot cards out of pieces of paper and fucking pens, and I'll be changing my life. And then I'd be fucking utilizing my gifts as a psychic medium for fucking commissary, I think it's called. Like, I'm good on any MLK Boulevard. There is no fucking worst case scenario for me. I'd be using the law of attraction. I am worthy of a good attorney. I'm worthy of freedom. I'm open to seeing a higher perspective. I'm open to seeing what good I can do, how many lives I can change. I know that I'm about to be out of this fucking prison and I'm about to take as many of these amazing, wonderful, powerful, important women with me as I possibly can. And I don't know why I'm crying because I'm not really going to jail. But that's just something that makes me really emotional. I'm not crying because of a fear of going to jail. I'm just crying because, like, that is such a beautiful fucking perspective to have. In the worst case scenario, it's this level of faith that I have that I did not have when I started this business. This level of trust that I have. Even in the worst case scenario, I would be fucking praying to God. I would be asking for help. I would be asking for guidance. I would be asking to see things differently. And whatever the situation was, I'd be thinking, how the fuck can I be a blessing to these people while I'm here? Because it won't be for long. How can I positively impact their lives? Because that's the type of person that I am. It's that mindset. It's that way that I show up that makes my success inevitable. That's what makes me unavailable for failure. I'm unavailable for failure because I don't perceive failure ever. Everything is opportunity for healing, opportunity for gaining a greater awareness of my beliefs, the stories that I'm telling myself, opportunity for a deeper connection to my inner being. Everything is opportunity. Failure is not possible for me. And when I know that everything is opportunity, and when I know that my success is inevitable, then I get myself to a place where it's like, fuck it, there's nothing to worry about. Fuck it, there's nothing to stress about. There's nothing to be afraid of. And it's not that I emotionally invalidate myself if the stress and the worry and the fear come up. I do the work that I know to do. Like Amanda Frances says, I do what I know to do. And I tap back into the truth that I'm choosing. I tap back into the truth of who the fuck I am. I tap back into my power. I bob right back up to alignment with my inner being. So the great amazing thing about this course is that the course is going to meet you wherever you are on the emotional guidance scale. If you spend a majority of your time in powerlessness, that's so good because it's going to help you to raise that vibe so that you can spend a majority of your time in a higher vibe. So that you can spend a majority of your time in alignment with your inner being. And this shit is so good. No, when I tell you, it don't make no sense. It don't make no sense how good this course is. It doesn't matter where you are on the guidance scale. If you spend a majority of your time feeling pretty good, but you have some really, really low moments, and you want to learn how to better navigate those low moments so that you don't have to deal with the negative consequences of those low moments, the course will help you do that. The course will help you do that. So good. Like a really good example of this before we go, because I'm just about done talking, is like I had like 23 or 22,000 subscribers on YouTube a couple years ago. And I deleted my YouTube channel, which I do not regret. I do not regret that at all, because I was really done with the channel, and I deleted it for a lot of reasons, and maybe we'll talk about it later. I'm sure you'll hear the story at some point. But then I decided to go back to YouTube. It was a couple months. So I might have deleted in like fucking October or November. And I was like making videos again in like January. You know what I mean? So it's like all of the shows that I've got now, I don't want to say it would be, I mean, it wouldn't be bad to have those followers and stuff. But it's just kind of like, now when I have moments where it's like, I want to quit this business, after that, I've had moments where I just like, what will I do? Like, I will archive my posts on Instagram, or I will make my website private, or I will just stop posting on something, or I will like take videos down or something like that, or like I will make videos private instead of deleting them. What did I learn in that moment? I learned, okay, maybe we don't create permanent change when we're having our most terrible, lowest moments. When I feel like quitting this business, will I communicate that to my audience? Yes, because it's important for you to see those moments in real time. Not that I have to do it every time. It's not like obligation. But I like that transparency for me. I think that that makes me a really, really good leader and a really, really good example, because it's one thing to see this, beautiful, sexy, talented, intelligent, powerful, young Black woman in her element, living in her purpose, allowing herself to receive lots of success and recognition and like all of this stuff for the things that she does. But it's another thing to see this beautiful, amazing, talented, intelligent, sexy, provocative, young Black woman who is also fucking human, who also has terrible shit days, and who is still successful, receiving her desires, still good enough, still worthy. Like, I think that that's fucking dope. And I think that that's relatable as fuck. And that's the message that I want to send. That's the leader that I want to be. I want the amazing, crazy shit that happens to me in my life to feel attainable as fuck. I want you to look at me and you're like, I know that I can do it, because she's fucking brilliant. She's fucking amazing. And she thinks about quitting this business. And it's very obvious that this is her passion and her purpose and her reason for being on this motherfucking planet. So maybe this art thing can really work out for me. Maybe this coaching thing really can work out for me. Maybe this business really can work out for me. Maybe I'm just tripping right now. Maybe I should join her course and learn how to move through the shit. You know what I mean? So that's all that I got. I love you guys. Check out the landing page for the course. Check out the modules and all the fucking shit that you will learn and all the things. There are some things, because I've been like adding to like the modules and stuff, but I just haven't felt like putting every single fucking thing on the landing page. So if you feel like there's something in the course that's for you, trust your inner being, trust your guidance. Yeah, I trust you. If you feel like it's for you, allow it in, open up to receive more support from God, more love. Oh my God. Okay. I love you guys. And I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.